Hotline, the scariest Walten Files minisode yet. About 6 days ago, Martin Walsh posted a video on the Walten Files YouTube channel called Hotline. It is literally probably the scariest minisode yet, and honestly, I think it's one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite. And this one minisode holds so much lore and so much that we can go off of, and it's just fabulous to see that the Walten Files is coming back very soon. Anyways, today I'm going to do a full breakdown on the episode and my own personal theories on it, so let's just get right into it. Now, the first few minutes of this episode is just an ad for a hotline telephone that BSI employees / caretakers can use to call during emergencies while they're in the K9 facility, and that's something that we've never seen yet, and it'll probably come in handy in the future of the Walten Files. Maybe even if we see a Brian Stell's redesigned death scene, if that phone is in there, that'd be really cool. We also find out that caretakers got a gift box, but I don't, that really doesn't matter actually. Here in this shot, we get to see our first view of future Billy and future Banny. I think we've seen Banny before, her new design, but we've definitely not seen Billy. And I really like that because I love Billy so much, and I'm happy that he is shown with his redesign. This next scene shows the phone number of the hotline itself and just two people talking. And actually, fun fact, the guy here talking is actually that horror dude 101, which is really cool. And I try to call this number, but it doesn't work. But it still said it was from Michigan, so I don't know whose number it is, but I do know I don't know, but the number didn't work. In this shot, we can see TVA just waving and showstopper plushies in the background. Bond's new design is actually, beautiful, and the amount of detail in him is crazy. Even with the chest of him, the broken chest has the Cyberfun Tech logo, which I love about his new design because it just is so detailed. This next scene just shows the new character David on the hotline talking to a caretaker because he feels like he's watched, which we know that's true, and it's most likely Bond. He also states that the smell is horrendous, and we obviously know that those are the dead bodies inside of the animatronic suits, and that's insane. I can't imagine how he's feeling. That's crazy. Also, this room was introduced all the way back in the 5-year anniversary video, and that's why it looks so familiar to me. I can tell that that's the TV and that's the monkey poster from last time, which is really cool. Another fun fact, Martin actually voiced the caretaker guy. Oh, wait, sorry, not the caretaker guy. The guy on the hotline, the other end of the hotline, Martin voiced him, which is really cool, and I could recognize his voice from anywhere. Sadly, they did not let David leave, which is honestly the saddest thing ever. I can't imagine how bro feels in there. Now, I'm gonna skip here to this scene. Do you guys see that face? That's terrifying, and the reaction on David's face is priceless, and it makes me laugh every time. And honestly, that's the face I would make if I saw that. And obviously, he saw the spirit, which we didn't know at this point. Actually, well, it wasn't clear that humans could see the spirits in their spirit form, which that'll come on later on in this episode, in this video, and that's really. Now, I personally believe that this is Charles, and I think it is Charles because this whole time we've only seen Charles in this episode. This episode focuses on Charles, and that looks like Charles. And the spirit, so most likely it is Charles, because who else would it be? It makes the most sense from the context we get in this episode. Now, originally I thought this was Rosemary, which I don't know why I thought this was Rosemary, but I now think it is Charles. I thought it was Rosemary because in Spectacle there was this one face that kind of looked like this. I'll pop it up on the screen, but it's obviously not that, so yeah. Something else in this scene is that he hears a baby doll sound, and it's obviously the one from Spectacle, and that's crazy. I don't know who played that baby doll, but he did hear it, and this is the sound. In this next scene, we see David walking towards the sound, and what he finds is the Buzu animatronic, which Buzu opening and closing his mouth is the most terrifying thing in this episode yet. And honestly, I don't understand how he's so chill about it, and he's just chill. He literally doesn't care. Even when he saw the spirit, he just stood still and just made a face. But he's walking away now, and that's cool. Now this scene is amazing because this is actually what we saw in Spectacle, and everyone watching this is probably just in shock. I was in shock when I saw this. I can't believe they did a nod to Spectacle in this episode. That's beautiful. This scene just shows David walking into one of the main hallway, and him hearing a noise that I'll just play it right now. Then he just pulls out the camera to record. I don't know why though. Now this scene is actually beautiful. He moves the camera and then we see Charles, which that's most definitely Charles. The spirit form of him is terrifying. That's definitely his Wonderland form, and that's amazing and cool to see. His face is reasonable. This next part is honestly my favorite part of the entire episode and one of the most terrifying scenes of all of the Walten Files. We see Bond walking towards David, which the sounds that it plays and the metal of Bond just walking, and the fact that he can't walk through the door is terrifying. Then he goes through his Wonderland form, he chases David, and then his Wonderland form comes back, and David just runs off and survives. Now, we've never seen Bond do this ever, and this is one of the creepiest things ever. The fact that he has the ability to just get into spirit form anytime he wants is terrifying. We can see that when Bond goes to spirit form and runs off, his actual, his form in the real world as the Bond animatronic is really just disappears, and then he immediately turns to his Wonderland form. That's terrifying. And the fact that David survived is crazy. I'm pretty sure he's the first one to ever survive Bond's attack. This is terrifying. Now, this next scene is just the aftermath of David escaping. It isn't really that important, but it is cool to see just David running out. And yeah, that's all this one scene is, so I'll just skip it. Now, in this next scene, we just see Charles's corpse head just coming down from the top, and his eye is missing, and he's bleeding everywhere. That's actually terrifyingly disgusting. And then in this scene, we can see Charles, obviously, and then that lady there, I don't know who it is. I either believe that is Susan, or Charles' wife, because who else would it be? And I don't think it would be Rosemary. But I don't even think that looks like Susan herself, so I don't know. This next scene is one of the most confusing scenes of all the episode, because Susan is shown here, but something that I don't understand is why would Susan be in the end of the episode if she hasn't even been in the episode from this point on. And honestly, it's very confusing, and I don't understand why. We also know this is obviously Susan from the sideways face and the banning costume, but I don't understand why she's. Now listen to this message. Now, I personally hear the message saying, "I need help here." But, fun fact, if you reverse it, you can hear another message saying, "I'm watching you." Now, honestly, I think the first one is Susan, the first voice is Susan, and the second one is another spirit. I believe that there are two souls talking in that one sentence, because realistically, Susan would be the one saying, "I need help here," but I don't believe she would be saying, "I'm watching you." Now, I personally don't believe that Banny is possessed by two spirits, but that's a possibility. And I just believe that sentence has two messages. two speakers and two souls, but I don't know if Banny has two souls inside of her. So I'm just like, I'm so confused on this one message because it's stumping me and I don't understand what it could be. So yeah. In this final scene, it's just a baby again, and there's a message on the side of her saying, I don't know what it says, but all I can figure out is I see a U, so I believe it says see you soon or something related to that, because I don't think it says I see you, because I see a message, I see a letter beside you, and I personally think it might say I see you, because I can't think of anything else it could say. But if you guys have an idea, please type it down in the comments, because this video is one of the most confusing videos of all the Walten Files yet. If you guys have any theories or suggestions, please comment them down in the comments. I would love to hear all of your guys' suggestions, because this episode is one of the most confusing minisodes of the Walten Files yet. So if you have any ideas, please type them down in the comments. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing rest of